make decisions based on intuition, based on what feels right internally, and just focus on like the love that's between us, you know, and try to spread that to other people.
What brought you guys together? What was the start of the band?
So many things I feel like are responsible for bringing us together. I think like everybody in the band at some point wanted to realize they wanted to make music full time, but weren't in the position to be able to do that. And so I feel like, you know, one of the biggest things was that, you know, everybody was searching for like a similar creative outlet. And I think that has an enormous amount to do with what brought us together.
The new album. Let's talk about it. What's up?
Status.
I think if there was like a status info bar above the new record right now, it would say.
It would say terrorist alert yelling.
It would say in progress. If it was like a pregnancy, this would be the stage where like the lady is the biggest bitch ever and you can't abort it, and she's eating everything in sight, and she doesn't want to fuck, and you don't know what's going on from moment to moment, but you just know you can't wait for the baby to be born.
If you could, compare it to the first album. You know, where's the music going? How are you changing?
Here's what I'm gonna say. It's kind of like you first meet this girl and you really like her. Is this what you're afraid of? This is what you're afraid of? You meet this chick, you really like her, like you get wasted with her and have awkward sex. Okay, that's the first album. We're already together. We already did it. It's over. It was weird. But now we can go into it a little bit more straight-headed. We know what's up. We know what you like. We know what you don't like. We know we like the lights out. You like the lights on. We'll figure out something. We'll figure out the lighting.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make it work, and it's gonna be awesome sex.
But you still wish you didn't have to wear a condom.
And you always apologize.
Really, honestly, hard to tell what it's going to be like, because it's so like in progress. You know what I mean? It's really hard to tell.
And it's really all over the place.
The last album was so influenced by outside, and music for me is breaking down in a really weird way, and I just can't hear too much anymore. I have to just distance myself from it.
Exactly.
When we were writing the first album, I just got so sucked in to like all these instrumental projects, like Godspeed, like Telephone Tel Aviv, like Explosions in the Sky, New York Mercury Program, Red Sparrows. I feel like this time around, like there's been a lot more like simple rock stuff that's been on my mind.
We are trying to be less, well, let's make this kind of album or let's do that. We're trying to let it be natural, trying to let everything, every song is its own thing, but we're going to try to make each one of those songs the best it can be. And that's kind of it. Like, it sounds cliche and simple, but that's just, I mean, our focus as a band really, no matter what we're doing, even if we're writing or on the road or whatever, is to like get along with each other, have fun, communicate with people. I try to become an outsider and think like, you know, what does our band like convey to people, or what are we trying to say? And I think in general it's pretty much do what you want to do, but not in the sense of like anarchy and stuff like that, but do what makes you happy, like express yourself, affect others, like, you know, that's pretty much been the only theme I can see reoccurring in our band. Everything else is just like, it's going to be a different day, it's going to be a different song, and different, you know, everything's different, but at the same time, that one thing remains, always.
I was in bands where I kind of felt stifled and put into like in certain bands where we just had to write this kind of music kind of, and we wanted to be as outside of the box as possible, but at the same time there wasn't a whole lot of room if we wanted to continue being that band. We had already been written into a certain place, so I was like I just wanted to play fucking guitar. Like, I really just wanted to do as much as I could and try different things. And it wasn't for me about pushing like the limits of music. It was about pushing the limits of what I could do. And Colin, like, had been a guitar player forever and never had the chance to express that. Like, he'd been a drummer and this day forward, and so like we would just come together and this shit all just happened. I swear. Like, there weren't even a whole lot of times where we communicated about our guitar parts on that first album, and I think that shows a little bit. We're trying to do that more now, but most of it just like we would just go down there and just start flowing, and if somebody didn't like something, we'd be like, yo, I think you can come up with something cooler than that. Why don't you try a couple things? If you don't like anything, then that's cool. And that's pretty much just how it happened. It was all very natural.
It's not like we knew how we wanted to do it. It was just like how we definitely didn't want to do it. Like, I remember times in old bands of, arguing over who was going to play the lead and stuff like that. And we were like, so we don't have a lead guitar player. We both play lead. That's like our thing. But I think in a lot of respects it was just trying to please our own ears, like you were saying. When we were making up parts, it's like, okay, we could play this chord here, but it might be more interesting to make this wacky sound with one note and do this, and like kind of create just like a background, like an ambience for the song, rather than being like, yo, check us out, check out this riff, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not that I've obviously, half the bands that we listen to are completely riff-based bands, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But for us, we were just trying to do something a little less. I don't even know. Like you said, like I didn't even hear half of his guitar parts for the album. I tracked to the bass and drums, and only certain parts would our producer actually have his stuff in there, and it would be a scratch track. So by the time it was done and being mixed, we were both kind of looking at each other like, what the?
Yeah.
Because there was stuff that definitely sounded like we were mirroring each other and sounded on purpose that wasn't at all.
I think that was an actual goal for me, is when we first got together and started talking, that like I cited like the Red Hot Chili Peppers as a band that any person can just listen to, and they can write whatever the hell kind of song that they want to, as long as they're proud of it. You know what I mean? That's what we want to be able to do.
Everybody's just really in tune with what everybody else is like receiving.
Still